it all happened very quickly. I was sat in Joe and the Juice in High Street, Kensington, at the back of Joe and the Juice. So, I mean, I thought I could just relax for a minute. You know what it's like when you're walking around London and you find a spot to just kind of gather your thoughts. And I sensed something was off. And I only became aware that that gut instinct was correct once everything had happened. So the man approached me from behind and took my phone from the left of me. I looked left and my phone was gone. And then in a split second, I reacted, and my ex-partner I was meeting, so he, myself and him defended myself, and yeah, I mean, things escalated very quickly. He had an accomplice who was not taken to court and I don't believe charged. And he became involved and threatened to stab me. And it turned into a physical altercation for about 5 minutes with lots of screaming. It was terrifying, yeah.
What did other people in the restaurant do? What did the staff do? Did they come to your aid, Genevieve?
The staff at Joe and the Juice were amazing. Their response was really supportive. They managed to call the police. They were shouting at him, trying to do as much as they could without getting physically involved, because obviously with the threat of a stabbing, that I wouldn't want anybody else to put themselves in that situation. The members of the public, on the other hand, were quite shockingly unsupportive. It was a lot of people watching and videoing, and I was screaming.
Videoing. So rather than getting involved or, I don't know, helping push him to the ground or hit him over there with a chair, they decided to video the event.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than nothing, because it offered some in court. They played the video and you can hear me violently screaming really aggressive things, which a lot of it I can't actually remember.
I'm sure.
So, yeah.
Have you always been brave?
So I grew up with 3 brothers. Yeah.
Were you the middle? Were you at the end? Where are you? How does it go? Boy, boy, girl, boy? How does it go?
It goes boy, boy, girl, girl, boy. So, yeah, and I'm from a military family.
Oh, my goodness.
Originally in Oxfordshire. So, yeah, I mean, my idea of fun growing up was a full-on wrestling match on the trampoline. And, yeah.
Were your brothers rugby boys as well?
Yeah, they're all 6 foot something. So I had to learn how to hold my own from a very young age. And then obviously
we're chuckling now, but Genevieve, you put yourself in harm's way there. Had it gone further, had he got a knife, we might not be talking now.
I know, and that's the realization of living after this whole situation, is that I blacked out. So when I watched the video that went viral and was all over the news, I kind of had a moment of disassociation. I couldn't quite believe my reaction. I had no idea that I picked up the phone he was trying to rob and used it as a weapon to defend myself. I have no memory of that. So watching that was bizarre, because I actually thought that was someone else's phone on the floor, which makes no sense as well. But yeah, I mean, when I saw the picture of him with the machete, it really hit home that stabbing threat was not a joke, and I am lucky.
You are. You're also incredibly brave, young woman. How have you been since?
So I am a single woman in the creative industry, and so that means that I have to move around the city a lot, constantly putting myself in situations where I'm going to new environments and things like that. And because of my job, I do feel I attract unwanted attention, going to modeling castings and stuff like that, dressed up. And so the level of anxiety for me, like putting myself even in the public space now is pretty awful. I've left London, and
as a result of this, Genevieve?
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable living in London at the moment. I mean, I've had conversations with friends who have had theft and attack happen to them, and also left London for periods of time. So it feels like the right thing for now. And I feel very lucky that I'm very fortunate that I'm in a point in my career where I can travel in and out of London for work. But, you know, had this happened 2 years earlier when I was just getting my career kind of going, this could have been the end of my career, because you have to be in town for meetings and available all the time. Yeah.
Is London unsafe for women?
I mean, there was a new study, wasn't there, that's just been shared saying that women feel extremely unsafe on the streets. And I was quite shocked to see that it said most women, almost every woman that I've met feels on edge in London. Yeah, walking around.
Do you have flashbacks?
Yeah, so I'll fall asleep, and then there's a kind of a lucid point in dreaming when you're falling asleep where I'll feel like someone's stealing something from me, and I'll try to grab it and defend myself. And then I wake up and there's no phone in my hand, and I'm just in bed, and my hands are sweating. So I think I do have trauma from this event, and I'm going to have to obviously work with a trauma therapist, as well as my dog, because he now tries to bite anybody that touches me, which is quite a problem. And yeah, the reality of the aftermath of this situation is that it's me that's going to have to pay to uproot my life. It's me that has to pay for therapy. It's me that has to pay for my dog's behavioral kind of lessons. And then it's me that's paying the transport in and out of London now. I'm left with the consequences of this. And there's no fund for women to get cars in public spaces when they feel unsafe. No, you have to just pay for it out of your own pocket and get on with it, even though it's a matter of safety sometimes. So it's quite infuriating.
So you're paying on every level. If we come to the justice system, I'm going to ask you whether you think that the person who treated you so badly and who tried to steal your phone and could have attacked you with a machete, whether he's paying the price legally. He was given 22 months, Genevieve.
Yeah, I mean, I've been researching about the current situation in prisons and what that really means. And realistically, I believe he'll only be probably serving about 12 months in prison.
Exactly right.
Which is awful, absolutely awful. And I could cry about that right now, because this person is a serial offender. I believe he's a career criminal. His mother has called him a sociopath herself.
Yes.
He walked the streets with a machete. This man needs serious rehabilitation, and I don't believe there is going to be any change to him in 12 months. And in fact, the level of anxiety I have about him sitting in prison thinking, oh, this girl got me caught, and thinking of revenge, or I don't know, your brain runs.
Well, of course it does. You've been the victim of a traumatic event. I don't want to be rude, but your brain will not behaving rationally all the time now because of what you've endured. That's a fact of life.
Yeah, exactly. And it's trying to manage that in a way that isn't debilitating. And
well, to your point, he was jailed in 2023 for similar offences. He was given a 2-year term. He served 14 months. And then, of course, months later, he's involved in the attack on you and on others. So that must make you rather fearful of what's to come.
I mean, he's actually a threat to the public. And it's not even about me at this point. This man has shown that he does not care to follow rules. He does not care to change. He's had so many opportunities. And I mean, what he did to Aled is just shocking and disgusting. And yeah, I mean, 9th of July, I believe he's going back to discuss lifetime. I don't know if you know the term that they've explained. I can't remember it, but essentially it means that he'll be charged with something else potentially, which means the circumstances moving forward could change. I would like to return to London, and I do believe that the court were able to stop him from returning to specific areas and obviously get restraining orders and stuff like that. So I'm really very much hoping that he won't be able to return to central London or the area of London that I hope to eventually return to myself.
I mean, lastly, he's sort of haunting you at the moment, in a sense, isn't he, from behind bars?
I mean, yeah, and he's everywhere as well. It's all over the news. My life has been really bizarre for the last 2 weeks. I moved here and then I woke up and the footage was everywhere, and I had 1.2 million people come to my social media, hundreds of messages. seeing his face everywhere. And then, I mean, he has no remorse at all. And he put his finger up in court to swear. So this is someone that is psychologically, I think, very, very, very unwell and dangerous.